Hi, Uncle Tim. Hi, basement team. My question is, how do I deal with feelings of rejection so that it doesn't jeopardize future relationships that God would want to have me in? I am currently 24, I'm almost 25, and I'm single. I have been enjoying this period of my life. I have really good friends and a really great family. I've been, however, thinking about the future, and I know that God may want me to have other friendships and maybe even a partner in the future. And the thought of that to me is a bit scary. And I realize that that is because of previous relationships where I would have felt betrayed and rejected, and I don't. I'm scared of experiencing that again. But I don't want that to jeopardize what God has for me. So how do I manage those feelings well so that I can welcome other persons who God would have in my life? Thank you guys. Love you.
Beautiful. I'm so you already answered your question. So how do you get over that rejection? You address that fear and do it anyway. When you have been rejected, the only way to overcome that rejection is to put yourself in the position again to be rejected. That's the only way to get around it. The only way to get around rejection is to put yourself in a position to be rejected. There's no other way around it. You cannot protect your. The only way to protect yourself from rejection is to never put yourself out there again. Acceptance is never guaranteed. For anybody. You are not guaranteed acceptance. You are guaranteed an opportunity to be loved. You are not guaranteed love. You're guaranteed an opportunity to be loved. You are not guaranteed acceptance. You are guaranteed an opportunity to be accepted. And you won't know that until you put yourself out there. Bottom line. So you got to put yourself out there. And if you don't put yourself out there, you will never know. You're never going to know. So what do I always say? What do we always say in the basement? If you can't do it brave, do it what? Do it scared. If you can't do it brave, do it scared. This is not about the fear of rejection going away. This is about feeling the fear and doing something anyway. That's why we do what we do the way that we do it. So that's my hope and my prayer is that you allow that to come forth. Be brave. Be bold. You want to be in a relationship? You are not guaranteed acceptance. You are guaranteed the opportunity, but you will never know if you don't put yourself out there.
Producer question: what is a day in the life of 17-year-old Timmy running the streets of Los Angeles?
17-year-old Tim was had a lot of insecurity, low self-esteem. Porn addict like crazy. That's why I dealt with any stress at all. Super kind, fiercely loyal. Very, very safe for my friends. I didn't know I was holding space for my friends. I didn't know that I was being basically who I am now, just not aware. But I've always been a safe person for my friends and my family. And I've always been a good secret keeper. When somebody tells me something, nobody else hears it. It's one of my claims to fame. You can tell me something and you're never going to hear it again from anybody. Because that's not the way I don't do that. And then and then also conversely, 17-year-old Tim, if I got an issue with you, I'm gonna run up on you. And not like to fight, but we got to have a conversation, and I don't even want to have a conversation, but you ain't about to walk around like everything's okay. That ain't gonna happen either. So that was what made you answer that question?
I just like to. Sometimes I just want to see it in my head, like where you're running around on a certain street, you were picking up a taco, macking on a Filipino girl. I don't know. I just wanted to hear about the details of
I was macking.
What you were doing.
Yeah, I was macking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was.
We are still waiting on some more voicemail questions. So if you want to maybe get some questions from the TikTok chat,
that's fine,
or YouTube, because we're still waiting on some more.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I can. Makaya, can you talk about ways to navigate self-hate / pity in your internal dialogue? I'm fine when I'm around other loving people, but when I'm alone, it is brutal. Yes, the self-talk has to change, Makaya. The self-talk has to change. I wish I could run through an exercise with you so I've been giving Nathan and Noah I've been giving Nathan words of affirmation since he was 2 years old. I've been giving Noah words of affirmation since he was born. Obviously Nathan was first. I started with Nathan. Hey son, when did we start when did I tell you to start the self-talk? Wasn't that a few months ago?
Yeah, I think it was a few months ago.
Yeah, so
we've been doing it for a couple months.
Yeah, so what I did with what I started doing with Nathan and Noah. Nate, actually, would you explain it, please, to Makaya?
Sure. So, what we used to do, what we still do, not what we used to do, is what we do is that after devotion, I will think about words myself that I believe in myself. That is positive to me, and that can also help other people. So like after I would be like, I am a good role model, I am positive, I am godly, I believe in myself, I would say things that would like uplift me specifically, that I can believe in myself, so that I know, so that like when I like maybe like go around or like I'll be like out of anybody else's like presence, like family members, I'll know that I said this myself and that I can believe in it. Because like you used to give me words of affirmation, but then now it's like I'm saying it to myself so that I know I'm saying it. It's not just you saying it. So
that's right.
I'm hearing it, but it's also me just saying it so that I know myself. I know who I am myself. And
absolutely.
I can say it and confirm that this is me, and I'm positive that this is me, and it's gonna stay like this. So yeah.
And when you do the self-talk, I have you look me in the eyes. Why?
So that it's believable. So it's believable so that you know that I believe this about myself, and I'm not just saying
that's
any
right.
word that just comes up straight into my head.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, Makaya, I just want you to understand that self-talk takes repetition. And in the same way you've had this internal dialogue of self-hate and pity, you have to write new narratives for yourself. And so what I would like you to do is to write down 5 things about yourself that are positive and you know to be true. It might be very, very difficult at first, but I need you to start off with 5. And every single day, when you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep at night, I need you to rehearse these 5 things about yourself over and over and over again. That is what you need. And you need to do it for about 45 days straight. Every morning and every night. There are going to be days that you don't even believe it about yourself. There are going to be days that it feels incongruent. But you got to understand, you're saying something about yourself not based on perfection, but based on progression. And the more you confess, the more you progress. So that's what I want you to do. And I really hope that helps.
Hi, Tim. And of course, Hector and Holy too. It's been really great listening to your podcast. It's helping me on my journey to grow closer to God. So it's been a blessing to my life. The question I would ask is, as I'm on this journey, dating is hard. What advice would you give for explaining your celibacy choice and standing firm on that? Even when dating men in church, it's still not easy. So what advice would you have for that? Thank you.
Yeah, so first, you're so sweet. And I appreciate your commitment to celibacy before marriage. And it is difficult to be a celibate person in such a sexualized culture. It is more difficult when you are a celibate person in church and you can't even get the men in that church to have a baseline of biblical foundation to know that they should not be trying to engage a woman in church and expecting sex before marriage to even be entertained. That's exhausting. It's one thing. It's one thing to be an individual who is, out there in the world and you're a believer and, you might be with a coworker or whatever and they don't know your faith and so they're trying to hit on you. It's another thing to have a dude in church get into a dating relationship and he want to know when y'all gonna bone. Are we serious right now? How is this even up for discussion? Like, how is it even up for discussion? I'll tell you how it's up for discussion, because these people have never been crucified to the cross.